need a plug.
You should be.
What?
For his ass.
You guys are. It's Monday.
I thought he was the plug.
Screen lab.
It's Monday. We're like this.
This
That
sometimes
means y'all
we just do
something's
that.
going on with that coffee.
Yay! We're looking forward to Fridays, right?
What's Friday?
Barbecue.
Oh yeah, I gotta do some.
I don't think it should do it again since I turned off the setting. But if it does, like as soon as you click go live on here,
What?
go down to that 360 video option and it'll allow you to turn it off.
You could do it in English.
Well, it's not allowing
Yeah, that would work.
Streamlabs to come back up.
Congratulations.
This is a
Right.
On.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll give you 20 minutes off.
10.
20 minutes up.
Just for the
Now I'm assuming that we're streaming over there.
Alright, she's for
All right, gentlemen, we got to get started.
You are not allowed to make coffee anymore.
No more.
But
Has you put too much stuff in it?
All right, good morning.
Morning,
A couple
sir.
of little weird things we need to talk about real quickly. We need to make sure that we have our sign-in sheet signed it in. And look, if I can't read your handwriting, you will know that. I know my handwriting. I know how bad it is, so I do know that people can't read my signature. So if I can't read your signature, print your name out by it or something, or take a picture of yourself and put it on there, because I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to decipher what that is, and you won't get credit for the group. So make sure that happens. We're going to shut this group down at 10 o'clock, and then right after that, I'm leaving. I'm gone. We talked about it a little bit on Friday, but I'm going to be out for the second part of the group. So we're going to take about a 15-minute break, and when you get back, Miss Charnel's going to be taking over the group for me, and you're going on this end, and you guys over here are going on a mindfulness journey.
wow.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I got a snot of remorse for you, Mr. Golden.
Well, and no telling where y'all might go, what you might do.
Nice haircut.
But on North, Miss Casey's going to take over the group there.
Nice
So,
haircut.
how many people got their book? Nobody got their book. Okay. We're supposed to be bringing our book to group when we come to group, so y'all bring your book. This is week 4 in the book. We're on page 56 in the book, and if you'll look over to page 57, we've got assignment number 8 in there. Now, as we're going through this, I do know that we're being given treatment plans that line up with the book and all of that kind of stuff, and that's good stuff. I mean, that's great. It's all, if you complete your treatment plans the way that you're supposed to complete your treatment plans, then you're going to come up with the book pretty much done. However, even if it's not on your treatment plan, we should be going through the book and completing the assignments that's in the book, right? Yeah, and they're pretty good. Are they going to change your life? Maybe so. Maybe not. And maybe it's not going to change your life. But look, it can. It can. What determines whether or not some of the stuff in this book is going to change your life?
If we do it.
If we do it. If we take it to heart, if we decide, hey, this is something that I need in my life. If I'm sitting in the group room and somebody's teaching, or I'm going through my book and all of that stuff, and I look at it and I tell myself, and look, I know this because I've done this, but I tell myself that I don't need this, that's not going to affect my life much at all, is it? I have to get to the place where I practice some buy-in. If I'm tired of what's going on, sick and tired of being sick and tired, then I have to have some buy-in to some type of program. If this one doesn't work for me, what should I do?
Go to another.
Find one that does. Yeah, find one that does. You know, people have been in several different programs. People have gone through several different rehabs, gone through several different detoxes, gone through several different whatevers, and still, yeah, you know, here's this thing that's waiting for me out there, and it's as big as an elephant and as mean as a tiger. And so, it may get me again. Here's the deal. If it does, I'm going to find me another place, right? So I'm going to look at a couple of these, and then I have a little handout that I want us to talk about this morning. But really serious about the book. Now let me share this with you. Y'all don't get your feelings hurt or anything. Don't come to group without the book. When you come to group, that book should come with you. Should come with you. That's part of the program. Bring the book with you. We should be working through that book. Now, here's the deal. This is assignment 8, and this is what's happening in early recovery. Some of us don't consider ourselves in early recovery, but look, what is early recovery? What does that mean?
What page are we on, Mr. Carter?
We're on page 57.
Thank you, sir.
What is the stage of early recovery?
Yeah. What is early recovery? What's early recovery to you?
30 days in.
30 days in? What's early recovery?
Figuring out what the problem is, so I can say.
Just figuring out what the problem is. You didn't put any time limit on it. The deal, yes, sir. What you got? 6 months, did you say?
Yes, step 1.
Step 1, early recovery. Yeah, all that's part of early recovery.
I don't think there's such thing.
You don't think there's any such thing? You want to explain that a little more?
You forever fighting.
Yeah, you're forever gonna be fighting it. That's absolutely true. You know, I've been sober for a minute. Mr. Farmer's been sober for about 10 years, and we're still both fighting. You know, and you are gonna fight it, but there is such a thing as early recovery. Y'all want to know the exact date of early recovery, when that early recovery ends and goes into medium recovery, and then goes from medium recovery into good, solid, mature recovery?
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't.
I don't have any idea. I do have an idea, but here's the thing. Early recovery is going to be a little bit different for different people, right?
Yeah.
When I first start this thing, certainly, 30 days is early recovery. That's just baby recovery. That's just, there's people out there that's not even looking for recovery to stay sober for 30 days. You know, and then is 6 months still early recovery?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You hadn't been there long enough. I know a guy.
She got something.
Say that again?
She was outside waiting for somebody.
Somebody's outside, somebody's waiting.
She was outside waiting on
Well, she
somebody.
got out there waiting on somebody.
Yeah.
I wonder how long she waited.
Yeah.
That's right.
I had a casket phone on last. Oh,
Well-
down. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Nah, he's got a doctor.
Well, early recovery, look, how about 3 years? Is that still in early recovery? It can be. Yeah, you know, because here's the deal. We had a guy in this group right here that became somebody else's sponsor who was in this group. That make sense? No, it didn't. That didn't make any sense at all. If you're looking for a sponsor, that person needs to be at least 3 years clean. Yeah, they need to be at least 3 years clean. You don't need to find somebody in here. You don't need to find somebody that hasn't worked the steps, hasn't been clean long enough to know what that even means yet. Yes, sir.
I thought they said the minimum was 6 months.
Yeah, we get 2
Minimum is 6 months. No, I don't know who said that, but that's incorrect.
Counselor.
She's incorrect. Whoever said that, tell them to come talk to me, because that's not true. Somebody that's 6 months in recovery is still fighting their own demons. And so that's not true. Let's not do that. Let's get somebody that's got 3 years at least.
They said 6 months, we can come work here.
Yes.
Really?
6 months you can do what?
We can apply for an RN.
You want to work?
You can apply for a job here. I have no idea about that.
What you have to have at least 6 months in recovery, no less, but 6 months. That is qualifies you to apply for a raise.
Okay.
So we get too many different answers.
Okay.
No, it's 6 months.
So in 6 months you can get a job at Land Manor. Yeah, and that's a good thing. But don't get a sponsor that has 6 months clean. Here's what we do when we're in early recovery. Say it again. I'm sorry.
What if you still fall on your 3rd day recovery? So it's still early recovery. I'm saying recover back. I'm saying how to.
Yeah, I think that we are in early recovery for a while, and if we're in early recovery and we relapse, then we have to start all over again. Yeah, so if you relapse, you're still in early recovery. Exactly.
That's why I said it's no such thing.
Yeah.
Something, what comes before early recovery?
Not recovery.
Okay.
Not recovery.
Not recovery.
Detox. Getting into recovery.
Okay, what if, like, after I leave here, I start my own recovery? This is just like doors open.
It's getting you started on
Yeah.
recovery. Yeah. And that's a good point. This is just getting us started on recovery. But that's what this is about. It's trying to look, we're in early recovery. What are some of the things that I'm going to do to get myself in early recovery and to stay in early recovery?
Go to AA meetings, work the steps.
Yeah, go to AA meetings, work the steps, pay attention in group.
Read the big book.
Read the big book.
Go to some type of outpatient.
Do some type of outpatient stuff. And all of those are true, but here's some other things that we want you to do. One of the things we want you to do is exercise. In early recovery, we want to exercise. We want to develop a program of recovery that includes healthy exercise, relaxation, and eating and sleeping habits. Here's the deal. We need to eat right. We need to sleep right. We need to exercise. Do you know that your body was meant for exercise? You were supposed to do things, right?
Right.
You're supposed to get up and move around. You're supposed to exercise. I see some of you guys out there trying to pull the fence down, and stuff like that. Look, you look silly when you do, but that's really good for you.
That's all we got.
Yeah, that's all we have to do here. Over at the other place, we had weights, but they were the same weights that Noah used as ballast on the ark. They were old and decrepit and all of that kind of stuff, and we need when we move. Yeah, we need something out there. We're going to be moving back to that other facility, but maybe we can get something there. But whatever it is, and I want to push you guys up for taking the initiative to do something. You don't have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. You don't have to be a bodybuilder or anything like that. Just do something to exercise. Now, Miss Charnel, one of the things she does is carry you guys on a mindfulness walk, right? She gets y'all walking around and looking and say, look, there's a bug. Look, there's a squirrel. That's goofy stuff, but it works. It gets you moving and doing something. So we need to be moving. We need to be exercising. We need to be doing something. Then it tells us, look, one of the other things we need to be doing is exercise is just one half of the equation. The other part of it is to relax. We need to know how to relax. How did we used to relax?
Meditate.
Yeah, we'd medicate ourselves and we'd relax because we were totally out of it. We wasn't meditating, we were medicating, right? That's how I did it. I could relax really, really, really good with a pint of vodka. And pretty soon I'm medicating. Yeah, you can sit right there. You can get and walk around this room 35 times. Yeah, please sit down. There you go. So anyway, once we get ourselves exercise, figure out a way that we can do that. How often should we exercise?
Every other day.
It's a good thing to exercise every day. If you're trying to bodybuild, you only do it about 3 times a week or it won't work. You can't build muscle by working out every day unless you're doing different muscle groups and all that kind of stuff. But we should be exercising one way or another every single day. So, what's a good thing? We're supposed to be eating correctly now. What should we eat? What is it?
Vegetables, fruits.
Fruits and vegetables. When we're eating, when we're thinking about what we're going to eat, we eat what?
Protein.
Yeah.
We do eat protein. We don't want to eat any green protein. Don't eat green protein. It probably ain't no good.
What is that?
Anything that's green,
Possible meat?
you can eat all you need of it, all you want. You can fill yourself up. That's why we put that salad bar in there. Everything that's green in that salad bar, you can eat tons of it. It won't make you fat. It won't make you sick, and it's going to be really healthy for you. Yes, sir.
That's that you can get what is it? E. coli or that salad that's in there. It's bad. It ain't no good.
Don't eat it. Now, see, that's a good point. If you go over there, they got something in the salad bar that's rotted. Don't eat it.
All the lettuce
Don't eat it. Yeah. Okay. If it's not good, you know not to eat that. But we can eat green food all that we want to. Can you eat blue food?
Yeah.
All right. What's blue food?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of blueberries? I'm sorry. Blueberries. They're little bitty blueberries. And they're really, really, really good for you. Blueberry waffles, not so much.
Takis.
The lady up here, Miss Susan, the other day I went in there and she had blueberry muffins in there. And she said, well, you can have one. She's trying to kill me. You know, because there's 9 pounds of sugar in there and 4 blueberries. Okay? But your blueberries, you should have blueberries how often?
Every day.
Every day. If you could eat a handful of blueberries every day, it's very healthy for you. And then, I don't have a yellow one, but the next one that comes up is yellow.
Squash.
Bananas.
Yeah, some things you eat. Bananas on there. Squash. The squash is very, very good and very good for you. And so anything that's yellow, you can eat a little bit more of that. So here's the deal. It is better to eat green stuff. It is a little bit. It's okay to eat all the blue stuff. And yellow stuff, it's okay. You can eat a little bit.
Cheese is yellow.
Cheese is yellow. You can eat a little bit of cheese. You don't want to overdo it on cheese. But the last thing is white.
Like,
So what about white food? What about white food?
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower, rice, potatoes.
Rice.
They do. It does have some fiber in it. But popcorn,
Bread.
Brussels sprouts. Yeah, all of those are green.
And they say
But-
anything on ramen noodles bad.
But anything that's white is 90% carbohydrates and up 10% sugar. So if you take how many people like baked potatoes?
I know they.
Yeah.
Fantastic baked potatoes. But if you take a baked potato, if you scraped it out, just left the thing, the shell, and then you filled it up with sugar, would you eat that?
yeah.
Jeff would.
Some people would. Because some people ain't smart. There's some people out there ain't as smart as you are. But that's what a baked potato is like. Eating a whole thing full of sugar. Yes.
Are ramen noodles good for you?
Ramen noodles, I have eaten a whole bunch of those things, but look, they are white food, so they're all carbohydrate. So they're all carbohydrate. What they are, that's the food to keep us from starving to death when we don't have anything else. So if you have to eat it, you have to eat it. But it's just like pasta. Pasta is white. That's just refined flours and sugars. We shouldn't eat those. So in early recovery, why are we talking about what you eat?
Because it's healthy.
Well, here's the deal. When you're in your addiction, when you're actively in your addiction, you're not eating, you're using. And so eating correctly is something we need to learn to do. Exercise is something we need to learn to do because our lives surrounded what we were doing, not what we needed to do, right? For the most of you, I tell you, there's some people who are outliers who are eating well, sleeping well, doing all that stuff. But I will tell you that I don't understand any of that because when I was using heavily, I wasn't doing anything. I'm sorry, I interrupted y'all.
Now we were talking about the Romeo suits.
Yeah, I know. I apologize. Y'all are doing a good thing. Yeah, I agree. Because I can't hear that well, and I don't hear everything y'all talking about back there, and so I apologize for interrupting you.
I apologize.
But I'm sure it was fantastic. I just know it was. I know. And I'm hoping the guys around you were able to hear it because I wasn't able to hear it. I couldn't give it to the ladies over at the other place because I just couldn't hear it. Yes, sir.
I want to ask you about
Okay.
beets.
Meat? Beets are red. Beets are supposed to be good for you. Say it again. Beets are supposed to be good for the blood. I don't know that. I hadn't studied much on beets because I don't like them. At one time I tried to eat them. You get the raw beet and try to eat it. That's nasty.
Yeah.
That is nasty. And then when you cook it, it gets more nasty. So I don't, but it may be good for you. Sometimes stuff is nasty good for you.
What about cranberries?
Cranberries are supposed to be good for you.
Blackberries.
Yeah, cranberry juice, you drink cranberry juice and stuff like that when you have an infection, and it helps with all. So that's good stuff. The reason we're cabbage, I love cabbage. I don't know. Carrots, I like carrots as well. And I'm not sure about that. There's a they've said for years carrots are good for your eyes. I find no proof of that. But they're still good. Yeah, they're still good. Why do they say carrots are good for your eyes?
Oh no.
Because rabbits see well. I can tell you without a doubt, I can tell you this is the absolute truth. I have never seen a rabbit wearing glasses. So it could be true, but I don't know it. I don't know it for an absolute fact. But the reason we talk so much about our diet and about exercise is that these are things we don't really do. It's the same as sleeping. When I was using, I couldn't sleep well. I didn't sleep well. Now I sleep fairly well. I will tell you this. Why is it important for me to exercise to the point that it gets my heart beating? It does lower your blood pressure. It's really, really good for you. But one of the other things that it does is it helps with cravings. It will help you when it comes to craving. When I crave sugar or I crave alcohol and all of that kind of stuff, exercise helps you with it. Why would exercise help you with that? Adrenaline. It releases adrenaline. It releases endorphins into your bloodstream. And what are endorphins?
Like a dolphin?
They're your body's own natural opiates. And that's great. I mean, the endorphins are going down your dopamine neurotransmitter and hitting those receptors, and you're getting a little bit of a high. Have y'all ever gone down to the gym and watched those girls and guys come walking out of the gym? Now that's not something that's real healthy. That's not something that's real wholesome to go down there and just watch these guys. You might need to go in the gym and induce, but if you watch those guys walk in and walk out, watch the guys and the girls when they go into the gym, sometimes they're kind of lugging their bag, all of that stuff, but when they walk out, walk back in here. Who was the guy that used to sit right back there in the back? He would go exercise every day, and then he would walk down the hallway here. Like that, I mean, and he was a little goofy. We all understood that, but he was actually feeling really good because those endorphins had been released into his body, and so he was feeling really, really good about that. So, if we want to get, that gives us a little tiny bit of a high, and it will help you with cravings. So when I'm starting to crave some type of a high, I can go work out, I can go do some side straddle hops, I can do some push-ups, I can do whatever it is, and that will help me to get rid of those cravings because I'm getting a little something in my body. Because what's the best way in the world to get rid of cravings?
Workout.
That's the second best way.
Give in.
What is it?
To give in.
Call your sponsor. Pull up, Sam. From Lubbock, Texas.
I couldn't hear
He
it.
said to give in to the craving.
Yeah, he's
It's
right.
the easiest way.
That's the easiest
Is he
way in
right?
the world. Yeah, he's right. That's the easiest way, and you know that. We've all in here given way to the cravings 1,000 times. And you know, maybe 1,000,000 times. We've done it a lot anyway and screwed our lives over a whole bunch, but we gave in to the urge, right? We gave into it. And that's the easiest way, but we don't want to do that anymore. We want to get away from that because giving into the urge messes my whole life up. Gets me right back in the septic system where I used to live, right? So I don't want to do that. So the second best way is to go take a good quick run. Go run down to the grocery store and run back or run around the block and get my heart rate picked up and get my heart rate to beating, and then I won't have that urge. Yes, sir.
Oh, I heard this, and correct me if I'm wrong, man. You said you have an urge or craving to take a walk or something. Take 15 minutes, come back.
Yeah. Yeah, and just taking a good walk. You know, exercising is better than that, and walking is what?
Good.
Walking is low-level exercise. So it is something that you can do. Now, one of the things I want to go over this with you because I don't want to get past it, but see, this is called riding the urge. What is that? It's really called surfing the urge. How many people have had an urge to use?
Lately?
Well, I've had one lately. You know, have you ever had an urge to use? Everybody in here has.
2 hands.
So everybody in here, more than likely, if you haven't had one, that's okay. You know, you're still in the right place. But most people have had an urge to use. I've had bunches of urges to use. It's the same thing as a craving. You know, I have decided I just felt like I really needed. So what we need to learn to do is to ride the urge. Let me tell you something about the craving. This is something I know you know as well, but the craving won't last forever. It won't last forever. It doesn't last. It feels like it's going to. It feels like, man, I must have Snickers tomorrow. I have got to have it. I've got to have it. I cannot live without it. I'm going to die. Okay, I didn't get one. I didn't die. I feel pretty good. I'm all right. You know, and I also, you know, when the end of the day, I feel really good that I didn't do it. I feel really good that I got past that spot over there. I know what everybody's telling me about the I can'ts in my life, but I did. So I feel really good about it. So what I need to do, yes.
I don't know, man. When I was cooking detox, and I really felt like I was going to die.
Yeah, maybe you did. Maybe this is hell.
Yeah.
Who knows? I think you made it. I think you made it. But here's the deal. You know, detox is hard. Detox is hard. Once we get through detox, that doesn't stop the urges. Okay, I finished. I've seen so many people. I used to work at a detox facility. That's all we did. We gave them drugs. We took care of them, and in 5 to 7 days, we'd let them go because they were detoxed, they were clean, they were down, they were gone. And guess what?
What detox facility?
Well, you know, you can't make any money if you get people cured. You got to get them detoxed, get them coming back to detox again, to detox again, to detox again. But once you get detoxed and once that stuff is all out of your system, that doesn't stop the urge. That's going to come back, you think? That's going to come back. So that urge is going to stay there whether I've gone through detox or not.
So there's a place where you come here for drugs?
Yeah, they're all over Beaumont. Probably must be 30 of them in Beaumont. You ever been to a detox facility?
Can you give us an address?
All right, see, there's that urge.
There's that stinking thing.
Yeah, there's that urge. All right, so here's the deal. I want to share this with you. I would like it if you would get a hold of it and think about it, because here's the deal. When you leave here, is the urge to leave You's gonna leave you.
No.
Not right away. It's not magic. This facility is not magic. What is it all about?
Recovery.
Well, that's wonderful. Recovery, but it's all about you. It's all about you. So, you know, you can come in here and we can pour out our lives to you. We can do everything we can to try to help you because we've been where you've been, and we've been where you are, all of those kinds of stuff. And you can receive it, you can get it, you can take care of it, you can say, okay, my life's going to be different, and I'm going to do the work to make it happen. Or you can say, and a lot of people in here are going to go, no. So, you know, if you sleep through every group, you get nothing out of the group. Yeah. If you sleep, and I had a guy tell me the other day, I'm not sleeping, he'd been snoring in group. You can't not, you know, I mean, you don't usually snore when I'm just resting my eyes. All right, you deeply resting your but it's always up to you. Yeah, you know. So here's the deal. Urge surfing is a technique for managing your own unwanted behaviors. Anybody in here have any unwanted behavior? I do. I do. And I have. And this has worked for me sometimes. And sometimes it didn't. But it has worked for me sometimes. Rather than giving in to an urge, I don't want to give in to an urge, you will ride it out. I have to just ride the urge out, knowing that it's not going to last forever. Yes, sir?
I play it all the way through.
You play it all the way through?
To the jailhouse.
All the way through to the jailhouse.
Good answer, yeah.
And look, some of us are going to do that. When we get out of here, we're going to do exactly that. We're just going to get out there, and we're going to play it all the way through, and we're going to go ahead and go do what we want to do. We're already planning on doing that. We're all, you know, relapse doesn't happen like that, does it? Relapse happens 6 to 8 months down the road. Relapse happens while we're in here trying to get ourselves back a little bit healthy, and we're already having that running through our minds a little bit. Some of us already had that little bit of hurt. Oh, okay. It happens like that. So if you go back out there and you don't ride it out, you don't do it like you're supposed to, what do?
Relapse.
You relapse, and then you come back in here. So here's the deal. You will ride it out like a surfer riding a wave. After a short time, the urge will pass all on its own. It will be like a surprise. You don't even know it. You have this real urge to use. You ride the urge like you're a surfer on a wave. You ride it at the top of that thing, and sooner or later, in just a little while, that thing's going to go away. Not going to stay. This technique can be used to stop or reduce drug and alcohol use, emotional reactions such as blowing up when you're angry, and gambling, and even other unwanted behaviors, whatever that is. One of the unwanted behaviors I have in my life right now is eating sugar. You know, yesterday I was doing pretty good. I hadn't had any sugar for like 3 days, and then yesterday after church, and we went out to eat, all that kind of stuff, and I wanted. We went to Cheddar's, and they have an apple pie with some ice cream beside it. And I wanted a piece of apple pie with some ice cream. My wife said, absolutely not. Okay. So we went home. I had to go get some gasoline for my lawnmower. While I was down there, I got me some ice cream.
Yeah.
Got me a pint of ice cream. Ate that, so I lost it. And you guys, you know, y'all push bad behavior up. That's good. Somebody, there's somebody, like I say, those outliers that may work for you.
So you ate it before you got back home?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you get rid of the evidence?
Absolutely, and I got rid of the evidence and all that stuff. All addict behaviors. Yep.
Like this, guys.
So here's what's going on with one of these deals. I have what happened.
Did you feel bad afterwards?
I did.
You?
I did. I felt bad. I didn't. I enjoyed the ice cream, but I did not enjoy the act. No, I didn't want to do it. And today, I'm not going to do that.
Tell your wife.
No.
Good job.
So what happens over here when you get out of here?
What do you mean?
So what happens?
What happens when we get out?
That's all right. You're out to already out there. I don't want to disrupt the group. I'm already left the group, but I'm over here somewhere talking to somebody else. But hey, I need to go to the bathroom too. Is that all right? Yeah. I'd like to have really good. Anyway, trigger. An urge is triggered by a person, place, thought, feeling, or something else. What does that tell me? If that urge is going to be triggered by a person, place, or thing, then I need to stay away from what?
Those
People, places, and things. I do. Are we going to stay away from people, places, and things when we get out of here? No, probably not. But here's the deal. You know. And that's my job is to make sure that you know. So when you get out of here, if you go back around old people, places, and things, and that trigger hits you, which it will,
what are you going to do about it?
that's on you. It's on you. And so when you get that trigger happens, whatever that trigger might be. And it doesn't have to be old people, places, and things. It could be anything. A bird poop on your car can be a trigger.
Pisses me off.
Yeah, I don't like birds pooping on my car. And one did the other day, and I didn't like it. I wasn't happy about it at all. I wanted to go eat some ice cream. So a trigger happens, and then once that trigger happens, it's an urge that's triggered by whatever. It becomes a little bit bigger. It rises. It gets more and more intense. Y'all remember that? It gets more and more intense. I feel like, man, I need a little something. You know, after all, I don't really think I had a problem. I don't fit any of those things Dr. Garner was talking about. I don't fit any of those things those counselors said were addicts and alcoholics. I don't fit in. I'm not like those other people. Everybody else in there needs it. I don't need it. That's why I'll talk through the whole group. I ain't paying no attention. I don't need that. That's why I'm like I am, because I don't need it. Because I'm special. I'm different. I'm unique. How do you catch a unique rabbit?
Unique trap.
Huh?
Thinking area.
What is it?
It's a thinking area.
The thinking area?
Uniqueness.
How do you catch a unique rabbit?
Unique trap.
Unique up on it. That's it. Come on, guys. So anyway, at some point, look, this thing is going to go. It's going to slip down a little bit, and then it's going to get even worse. It's going to peak at some point. It will. The urge become more intense. This may happen gradually, very suddenly, and then it's going to peak. It's going to get right up there at the very top, and it reaches its most intense point. It may feel as if at that point, when the urge gets right here, it's going to feel like that's the rest of your life. It's going to feel like it's going to be there forever and ever and ever, and it's never ever going to go away unless you use whatever you have the urge to use. So, a lot of people give up right there. A lot of people give up at this point because I just can't do it. Just can't. I watch people quit smoking, which is the greatest thing on the face of the earth. If somebody said, I quit smoking, that shows that is just magnificent. Kills more people than anything else in the world. All the other things combined. So to quit smoking, but I see people, that urge peaks really quickly. You quit smoking, and about 4 hours later, I'm gonna die. If I don't get a cigarette right now, I will die. If I don't die, you will. I'm going to kill somebody. I'm not going to be able to do this. That's a terrible addiction. When it gets up here and you think, oh, I'm going to, it's not so. It's not so. If you stop, if you stay, if you don't use, then that urge is going to go away. It's not going to stay there the rest of your life. It's going to dissipate. It just takes a little bit of a time of hanging on up there. Because here's what's going to happen after this big old peak. What? It's going to fall off. It's going to lessen. It's not going to be like it it's not going to be all that terrible anymore. The urge loses intensity, goes away, will eventually go completely away, and you're having no urge at all anymore. So that's a really good thing. So here's the deal. How do we practice urge surfing? How do we practice that in our own life? Because, we talked about being unique, and some of you are unique mentally, if nothing else. You are unique. So everybody's a little bit different. So how do we practice that urge surfing in our own life? Did you have something, sir?
Come up with a plan.
Come up with a plan. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something, Sergio. Absolutely correct. I need to have a plan in my life for what I'm going to do the next time I'm triggered. I don't need to just let it happen and go, boom, okay, I have no control over this. That's not true. I have total control over it, so I need to have a plan in place so that I can have total control over it. Yes, sir.
You gotta stay ready to be ready.
Stay ready to be ready. Okay, I like that. So here's the deal. When that urge happens, what you need to do, very first thing, is acknowledge that you're having an urge. Acknowledge that, because sometimes when I get that urge, it can kind of float me along instead of me riding the crest of the wave. I kind of get floated along until, boom, I'm using and didn't even notice. Okay, I know this is something I'm not supposed to do, but I'm going to eat this anyway. Those little old bitty pecan pie things?
We sure do.
I got the urge for one of them right now. I'd like to have them. They ain't even good, but I want one. Yeah, a little aluminum. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about them is it's hard to chew up that aluminum foil. Yeah. So, we have to acknowledge, here it is. Look, I'm having an urge. All of a sudden, I want to do something I know I can't do. All of a sudden, I want to do something I know is going to destroy my life. All of a sudden, I want to do something that's going to cost me my job, my life, my church, my family. I want to do something that's the stupidest thing that I could ever do. But I won't do it. I have the urge to. I would really like to do it. So here that urge is.
Is that the same thing as craving?
Yes, it's about the same thing as craving. But if we look at it as this urge or this craving, I have to deal with it or give in to it. So, first thing I need to do is acknowledge the fact that I have an urge going on. Notice your thoughts. Look at your thoughts. See what your feelings are without trying to change them. We're not trying. What we do when we have the urge usually is we try to change it. We try to master it. We try to get over it. We try to destroy that. But instead of that, we just need to acknowledge it. Yes, I'm having that urge. It is happening in my life right now. I really want to do. Is it normal for us to have an urge?
Yes.
Yes. It's normal for me to want to eat a pie. It's normal for me to want to eat stuff that I know I shouldn't eat. That's normal because I'm addicted to it. The other thing is that I'm addicted to alcohol, so it's normal for me to want that as well. But I need to accept the fact that I have that thought running through my mind, and then I need to begin to remind myself, gotta hurry. It's okay to have urges. They're a natural reaction to addictions and to habits. If you have a habit, if you have an addiction, it's natural to have urges that lead to use of that, whatever it is. An urge is a feeling, however. We need to know that an urge is a feeling. So what's a feeling?
Emotion.
A feeling is just that. It's a feeling. It's not a must. It's not something I absolutely have to do. I can have this feeling and choose not to react. I can desire a pint of ice cream and choose not to get it. And if I choose not to get it an hour later, that that won't be there. That urge will have gone. I can have the urge to have a little bit of cocaine, or I can have the urge to have a little bit of alcohol. I can have the urge to have a little bit of tobacco. I can have the urge, but I can also choose not to do it. My choice.
Can you ignore this urge?
You can get to the place where you don't need to ignore them. That's what we've tried to do. If we try to ignore the urges, it seems like they get worse. If we're trying to just confront them and accept them and let us know that they're there, we can move past them. But if we try to fight them, then we're going to, usually they're going to get worse. So, some discomfort is okay. You know, when you have an urge, look, my addiction to sugar is nowhere near what my addiction to alcohol was, or my addiction to drugs. Nowhere near it. But when I get that urge and I really, you're sitting there at the restaurant and they got this little thing that you can pay on now, it also advertises their food. And so that little apple pie with a couple of big old things of ice cream flashes by about every 3 minutes, hey, oh, there, oh, there, hey, And so that's kind of hard. But some, here I am really wanting to eat that. And so there's some discomfort that's there with that. It's not, you don't feel good when you're thinking that. I don't, there's some but some discomfort's okay. I don't have to change that. We don't like as addicts, we don't like discomfort. We don't like feeling bad. We don't like feeling yucky. We don't like any discomfort. So we want to do something about it. We don't have to. We can deal with a little bit of discomfort in our life. We can deal with 10 minutes worth of discomfort in our life. We can deal with a half an hour of discomfort in our lives in order for us to stay. So, an urge is temporary. Like any other feeling, it's going to pass on its own. So here's the deal, really quickly. These are some other skills we need to start working on. Managing triggers. We need to start managing our triggers a little bit. Use new coping skills to reduce the power of those triggers. Know your triggers ahead of time, like Sergio was saying. Have a plan. Know what's going to trigger you. I know some of the things that's going to trigger me. I know what they are. Going to Cheddar's will trigger me. We used to go to Cheddar's all the time and buy those great big old slices of chocolate cake. Don't do that. Don't go to Cheddar's and order the chocolate cake anymore. They've changed the recipe. It's about half the size it used to be. The ice cream is not vanilla ice cream anymore. It's some kind of brown-looking stuff, and they put nuts on it. So it's just not the same piece of cake. It's not worth, but you're paying the same price. But when we go to Cheddar's, I can get triggered because they have carrot cake. Ooh. Carrot cake with nuts on it and some kind of icing stuff over it, some kind of sugar melted. So just thinking I'm getting triggered right now. I get having a little bit of urge. But the deal about it is that urge is there. It's real, but it's not what it used to be. And it's not the same as it was for the other stuff. Know your triggers ahead of time. Don't go down there to Cheddar. Go to Hamilton. Hamilton's has some of the best food in town, but their desserts are crud. Their desserts are terrible. So I never get triggered for desserts at Hamilton. I bought a dessert there one time. It's like eating cardboard. I said, "Who made this?" And the girl said, "Oh, that's homemade." I said, "Well, I ain't living at that house." Yeah, I love the way those people tell you, "Now, this food is all homemade." So all of those waitresses and all of those cooks, they live there at that restaurant. They have to because that's their home because they made it there, so it's homemade. So anyway, really quickly, and know your triggers ahead of time and have a strategy or a skill prepared for them. And this is one of those skills. Okay, I'm having this problem. I'm going to deal with it. It ain't that big a deal. I'm just going to keep walking. I'm going to keep surfing. And at some points, it'll be in the rearview mirror and it'll be gone. Delay and distraction is a good skill. Do something to take your mind off the urge. Whatever the urge is, do something to take your mind off of it. Go do something else. Go exercise, which is a really good. I watch you guys pretend that you know how to play basketball out there. I've seen y'all. Yeah. Wilt Chamberlain, he never did it like that. Every minute you delay, every minute you hold off, increases the chance the urge is going to weaken on its own and go away. One of the best things I've seen is the 5-minute vacation. All right, I'm going on vacation for 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, I'm not going to use. 5 minutes from now, maybe so. But in that 5 minutes, I'm not going to use anything. I'm on vacation from my addiction. I'm on vacation from my desire for sugar. I'm on vacation for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, they can't fool with me. That's a distraction. 5 minutes from now, what am I going to do?
Think about going on security.
5 minutes from now, if that thing is still there, if it's still bothering me, I'm going to take another 5-minute vacation, and before you know it, it's gone. It's out of there. So, some of these things, I had somebody tell me, well, I'm not going to fool myself. Well, don't fool yourself. You've been fooling yourself all of this time, telling yourself that you can do this on your own. You can't. So you've been fooling yourself saying, I'm different. No, you're not. You've been fooling yourself. But maybe you can fool yourself for 5 minutes to keep you from using stuff that's poisoning you and destroying your body. So just fool yourself for a minute. We're going to have to start. We're trying to come up with a new plan on this, and we do have a new plan. But I really like that Zoom idea. Somebody came up with a Zoom culture. I tell you, I believe that everybody over there needs to see what everybody over here does. But while we giggle and laugh all the time. Yeah. So, all right, look, it's break time, guys. Remember, somebody else is going to be here. The video part of it is over with for today. I appreciate you guys. You did a great job. Thank you. And I will see you tomorrow.
I got a snot of more subscribe.
All right, let's get it.